I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Well, we had a big announcement today, of course, the Federal Reserve with the last meeting of the year, the 10th of December, and we got a 25 basis point rate cut. That's a quarter of percentage points, and that's good news, guys. So that brings us down to 4.75% on the federal funds rate. So inflation, somewhere between 2.8 and 3%, probably 2.8 to 2.9 recently. So, the gap's closing under that 1 percentage point gap. As I said, typically a rule of thumb would be a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's still relatively high from that. Obviously, there's typically two camps. Some people saying get inflation down to 2% and then go hard on that rather than look what you're worried about mixed employment results. And then the other camp, of course, which is the one I'm in, is, reduce rates closer to the inflation rate. And let the economy breathe a bit, knowing that Trump is expanding the supply metrics as well. So that's kind of the lay of the land. We're going to get into that, of course, later on. So hope you guys enjoy that. We're going to obviously cover the stock market, the crypto market's reactions, and then get into a lot of PulseChain news around some of the upcoming projects and where the markets are at right now. So hope you guys enjoy that as well. We've got Crypto Dan in the house there. Hey, Superman, good to see you, Crypto Dan. Big shout out. And we got Jugo the Booze in the house as well. Cheers, everybody. Chin chin, as I say, chin chin. Now, don't forget, as you're coming in, if you're on X, just to hit the repost button. Just take a moment to do that. Really helps a lot. And yeah, really cool. If you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the way in. That really helps. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels and on X, so a pretty good audience reach. So definitely subscribe and share the channels around. Obviously, the only large influence on PulseChain that does daily shows. So give us a good follow, share it around. And of course, we are a no drama channel, PG channel, and we try to just focus on the crypto numbers. We're just focused on what's happening and so forth. But there's plenty of other channels out there if you want to go and watch more stuff or like drama shows, or infotainment, as we say, infotainment. All right, so let's get into it. Let's kick it into the stock market and, of course, see what the Fed rates have done there. So we're going to jump over there. And we can see here on investing.com, S&P 500 jumps after Fed delivers third rate cut of the year. So there's obviously two things: the rate cut that we get now, which continues the rate cut cycle that we've started, which is bullish for crypto. And then, of course, the forward look, what's going to happen in the future. Right? So those are the two things that we're kind of looking for, and that's what the market will address. In any case, the Dow Jones reacted pretty positively to it, up 1% to 497 points, so pretty good day. And it's at 48,057 right now. So pretty good news there. And we can see if we look at the last year, we're teetering on record highs there. So we're just teetering just below the record high that we had back on the 12th of November. Looking at the S&P 500, that's up 0.2%, 46 points to 6,886. And you can also see that we're teetering on the top of the record levels as well. So that's pretty exciting. The NASDAQ, with all the tech companies in it, of course, is up 0.3%, 77 points to 23,654. And you can see that's just off the previous all-time high back here at the end of October. So generally a pretty well-received result from the interest rate cut. US dollar has depreciated 0.5%, is down to 98.65. Remember, it was about 108 when Trump came in on the 20th of January earlier in the year. So that's depreciated there for the US dollar. But the good news, even though it's depreciated, it's good for exports, of course, but higher for imports generally, is that the price of oil has gone down way more, right? So that's gone down almost 1% today, $58.46 on West Texas, and Brent oil there is at $60.58, so that's both down as well. And remember this big spike up the top here when Trump came into power. This is where oil prices was, so it's around about 70 Oh no, what about 70? 70. Let's see. Let's get exact date. Let's get the exact date. Around $76. Let's just round it there. $76, and that's on West Texas, and we're now at 58. So that's down dramatically. What's that? $16, $17.50 down. I mean, it's dramatic. It's dramatic. And I understand that at some of the pump prices in America, it has gone below $2 a barrel. Not a barrel, no, $2 a gallon. Sorry, a gallon. We use liters here in New Zealand. Liters. I think it's about 2.2 liters per gallon. I think that's right. So it is cheaper in America than it is for us to get a liter here, I think. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Consider yourself lucky there in the United States. We have a lot of because you guys have got Trump. You guys are lucky, and because we've got progressive idiots, we've got all the problems you won't believe, and they're making more problems. Oh my god, it's horrendous. But I don't want to go into that because no good news. There's nothing good I can say about New Zealand at the moment from a leadership point of view. We got gold at the moment, $4,258 is flat. We got silver there at $62.20 right now, and silver just looking amazing and looks unstoppable. And of course, we have been talking about this for a long time of it heading up to the $75 to $125 mark, and it is doing us proud. We're expecting that to continue, and of course, with Trump's ramp up in military as well, a significant amount of budgets going into silver for rocket munitions and things like that. So it's going to be pretty neat. All right, so that is the play right now on the commodities. Let's have a look at the rate cut. Now, I have posted the video, a link on X, so you can go watch that. That only finished just a little while back. But Fed rate cuts for the third time, but divisions grow in the Federal Reserve presidents, taking different views, getting into factions, things like that, whether hawkish or dovish. The Federal Reserve on Wednesday lowered interest rates by 25 basis points for the third time this year to a range of 3.5 to 3.75%. At the press conference that followed the rate decision, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said that 3 cuts delivered this year have now pushed rates in a range of plausible estimates of the neutral rate and leave it well positioned to determine the extent of further changes to rates based on incoming economic data. Now, obviously, we also, previously had the government shutdown, so that's also caused issues around data provision. In the sign of growing divisions, there were 3 dissents against the decision, with 2 of them favouring a pause, which I think would have been just a bad idea, and of course, 1 preferring to cut by 50 basis points, which I would be in favour of. I think that'd be very cool. So that's kind of where we are. The reason why I say that is because I think that they always move. They move too far, too early. Sorry, they move too late and too fast, and they're going to move too slowly down to the downside and too slow. And that's in the context of Trump expanding supply. So that's why I think it's a bad idea. If Biden was in power, then it'd be fine. But it's not the case, right? So what we got there? We got Trump to begin final round of Fed interviews, of course. So we're going to have a change of leadership. Meanwhile, the Fed, Donald Trump, of course, is aiming to begin the final round of interviews for the next Fed chair. But it does look like he has chosen somebody. He was in a gaggle on the Air Force One, I think yesterday or overnight, and he was indicating that he's really chosen a preferred person. Now, I think what I was trying to remember the other day, obviously the Secretary Scott Bessent is running basically the economic strategy there, but we've also got some other key players, and I think it was the head of the Economic Advisor Council, which I think was I thought I almost had his name, but I think it's Hackett or something like that. So he may end up being the front run guy. I just can't remember his name exactly. I need to get my head over that one. So that's kind of Hassett. Hassett is right. Yeah. So Kevin Hassett. So it's got down here at the bottom. Actually, I just realized. Kevin Hassett, the White House economic advisor, many reports have described as a front runner to replace Powell when his term at the helm of the Fed ends next year, which is going to be great. I mean, Kevin Hassett would be fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. So 100% for that. So that's kind of the play. Now, at the moment, we've also got the forward look, right? So the second part is the forward look for next year, and that is relatively modest at the moment. So I think it's maybe another rate cut. So we want more than 1 rate cuts into next year. So having a change of the guard will be very good. So looking forward to that. All right. Remember, there's also a big amount of the federal debt is going to be refinanced to next year. So that is a big, I think it's February actually, a big big skyscraper of debt to be refinanced. Remember, the US has got about $38 trillion of debt, and so a certain proportion of it gets restructured every year. And I think there's a big chunk of it is coming up in February. So lower the interest rates means lower cost of interest to America to service that. But of course, Trump is also looking to try and deal with the debt for the first time in history because Democrats and Uni Party Republicans in the past have ratcheted that debt up to unbelievable heights of 38 trillion. Remember, the US economy is 27 trillion in income and has run federal budget deficits around about 2 trillion at the moment, and trade deficits about 1.2 trillion. So those are your main numbers. Those are the ones that Trump is dealing with and doing a very good job of it. And I suspect we're going to have some great results across all those key problems. All right, so that's kind of the play there. Let's have a look at the next meeting just before we finish up here. So next meeting will be it's going to be in January the 26th. So that's the next big deal. So it's quite a far away from now, well after the Christmas holidays. We've got 75% of the market expecting a no change at the moment, with 25% of the market expecting another 25 basis point cut. So fingers crossed on that. That'd be pretty cool. Let's have a look at March. March there, we moved to 40% for another 25 basis point cut. And I think it's March we might get some traction there. So we'll keep a lookout for that and continue the rate cycle. So that's the first thing, is interest rates. And then the second thing, of course, is QT, or quantitative tightening, finished on the 1st. So that presumably moves us into not just a QE, quantitative, not quantitative tightening, but moves us into QE, even if they keep the balance sheet relatively flat, because they've still got to maintain it, right? So they're still got to be doing QE activities to keep their balance sheet at a certain level, right? So, but we may end up seeing a little bit of quantitative easing in the traditional sense, with buying back, issuing bonds, buying that, printing money and buying that back and putting more money in the economy. But the other thing that we're getting, and maybe this hasn't had enough press, I've certainly been talking about it on here, is that Treasury Scott Bessent is talking about, changing the regulations, moving the regulations for banking credit going forward. And that could open up trillions of dollars in credit. And so therefore, mute traditional central bank, easing. But either way, we're going to get a lot more capital flooding into the economy, but just differently through banks instead. And so moving some of those, reserve restrictions there from the Great Recession period. So that's kind of that's pretty positive. And look, if you think that's a bad idea because you think it's good risk management, well, the counter argument would be the fact that the Great Recession was caused by the fundamental economy, and arguably that was caused by changes in the lending rules and creating all those bad housing loans, which actually ended up toppling eventually the U.S. economy, right, when all dominoes all fell. And of course, the big banks there, like Morgan Stanley, the rest of them, all caught up in the rig, right? And of course, it's all a big cabal of banks manipulating the U.S. economy. But actually, it was the real economy falling over, and so it's probably not a bad deal as long as you don't keep issuing loans to people that really shouldn't be able to pay for them. Then you shouldn't have the same problem. So that's kind of the idea there. And of course, stimulating a lot of lending would be great for investing and building new capital in the United States, in both physical and financial. What else have we got going on there? We got Fast Abdul in the house there. I'm here for the tech. Good to see you, Fast Abdul. Big shout out. We're going to be talking about your project today, actually. It's on the list. No, it's actually not on the list today, but it will be on the list next time. I just realized we've got 2 other projects before yours, but maybe, you might surprise us. That's the question. Grumpy in the house as well. G'day. Good to see you, Grumpy. Welcome. All right, so that's kind of sum up there. Let's go quickly look at... let's have a look at the other measures. So we've talked about interest rate cuts. We've talked about quantitative easing. We've talked about changes to the banking credit system. So this is all going to drive, markets into the future, as well as the US real economy. But we've also got the manufacturing index, right? So this is a big deal. So this has been, underwater. Have I got the right one up here? I thought I had the right one up here. Something's changed on here. I don't know what happened. So something changed. Anyway, so my little chart's gone. My little line gone. I don't know where it's gone. It's gone. Disappeared. So at the moment we've got this unusual thing happening. Obviously, probably because of the Bidens and high interest rates. But this is the monthly chart for the manufacturing index, and so this represents kind of the economy, the cycle of the economy, and the manufacturing health. Now, there's also a services index as well, but this is the manufacturing one. And obviously, Trump's put a lot of focus this year on getting manufacturing back in the US, which is good for two reasons. One, of course, creates jobs and modernizes the US economy. But secondly, it also gives you security, right? Because obviously, you're not labored with China, right? China has dual purpose technology, so when they're manufacturing ships, they're also able to, both from a manufacturing and from a ship point of view, be able to adapt to wartime ships, right, and manufacturing. So the US needs to rebuild its shipping industry. Obviously, you got pretty much four major shipbuilding places in the United States, but they're all focused on different things like aircraft carriers, destroyers, frigates, etc. They're all submarines. They're all kind of separated out. So the US has to rebuild that capacity while doing it as effectively and efficiently as possible. Because obviously, typically military stuff is generally unproductive, right? Unless you're protecting security for all the productive assets that you have. And so Trump's focused on doing a lot of that too, not just manufacturing cars, which is very important as well, because you need to be able to dual purpose that as well for any manufacturing wartime stuff, for example. And of course, that includes aircraft as well, which is probably even a bigger deal in some ways. So that's where we are right now. We're below 50. We've been below 50 for some time, right? We have popped above it a couple of times. So February this year, March this year, but actually, we've largely beat, as you can see in the charts, pretty self-evident. We've been below 150. So above 50 means expansion. So we'll try and put I had a little line here before, but I don't know where it's gone. So we've got 50 here. Let me find that. So 50. Is that going to draw? I don't know if that's drawing. Let me. We've got a trend line here. Is that going to draw? It's playing up, isn't it? No, it's just playing up, so it's not working. I don't know what's going on there. But basically, anything above 50 is expansion, and that is highly correlated to the crypto market running, right? So Tom Lee talks about one of the two big catalysts for crypto rallying is the manufacturing index going into bull market mode. And so we're still in this bearish condition. And so presumably this is going to pick up at the end of this year, but sort of into next year. So this is a big deal there. So this is what we're watching as well. So keep a lookout for this. This is a big deal. And so if we see this pick up, which we're expecting to into the beginning of next year in particular, leading all through 26 and 27. So we're actually feeling extremely bullish about where crypto is going into next year. So we talked about monetary policy, we talked about manufacturing and the business cycle there, and it's all heading in the right direction. Just a bit more patience, guys, and we're going to be all good. We're going to be all good. So it's going to be fun times. All right, so that's pretty much it. Remember, Trump has individually just raised 21 trillion this year to set up this whole thing. We've had 100% capital expensing through the tax bill as well. We've got all the demand coming from tariff checks and refunds from no taxes on tips, over time, etc. So it's all going to be pretty glorious into 26, and of course the supply boom as well. So and that's going to keep inflation down relatively low. So that'd be cool, and everyone's net income and net assets will go up. All right, we got Grumpy in house there. G'day. Good to see you, Grumpy, and appreciate the repost. Thank you very much. So that's kind of the lay of the land right now. So we're looking good, guys. Looking good. All right, so that is the economy. Thought we'd have a good look at that. We haven't done much on that, but there we go. It's a nice little introduction for those that are maybe not so familiar. We're going to get into the crypto market and check that out. Let's go there and see how we saw stock market reacted very well to interest rate cuts and the forward-looking outlook for interest rate cuts. But we've also got the stock market, the crypto market to look at. While the crypto market is rather mute on the occasion, so we're down 0.6% at 3.26 trillion at the moment on total market cap on CoinGecko. Bitcoin at the moment is down 0.4% at 92,447. So not down. It's not disappointed, but just sort of flat. Ethereum is up slightly, so that's kind of good news. 0.6% at $3,347. We got XRP is down 2.6%, $2.05. BNB down 0.3% at $900. Solana at number 7, down 0.9% at $137. Tron at number 9, down 1.1% at 28 cents. and then Doge to wrap up our top 10, down 2.8% at 14.4 cents. So those are the top 10 at the moment. Best performer is Ethereum, up 0.6%. Everything else is actually in the red. Best performer over the last week has been Ethereum as well, up 8%. So that is good news. And we know that Tom Lee and the Bitmine Immersion have been buying a lot of Ethereum. They have been leading the pack for sure, and his strategy is full on. So pretty exciting near. We looked at that, I think, 2 days with the last update. We'll probably get another update from Tom Lee probably Monday next week, US time. I think typically when they do the updates. Top 100 at the moment is top 100 is Provenance Blockchain. That's up 26% for the week. Zcash number 2 up 20%. OKB is up 14%. We got Liquid Staked, of course, up 10%, and then Mincore up 9.1%. So those are the top 5, and then you can see a lot of the pairings, derivatives for Ethereum. So you can see they're all dominating, sort of up to number, almost up to number 13 or something. So wrapped ETH there, ETH doing pretty well. Top gainers, Swarm Network in the top 1,000, up 108%. Humidify is up 68%, and Midnight is up 84%. Those are the top 3 in the top 1,000 right now. Trending is Midnight, Terra, and Humidify. There we go. Those are trending. So that's the market. So kind of a flat response from the crypto market at the moment, but it may just be a bit of a delay. We'll see how we get on in the next 24 hours. The one thing I will say is that this is Wednesday's results, and we're currently in, we're in New Zealand, we're on Thursday, but it's we'll see what happens into Thursday. It's really weird because we're in Thursday. It's midday here already. In fact, it's 12:07 on Thursday, sorry, the 11th of December, and it's always weird. I've always got to take off a day there. All right, so that is the play on the old crypto markets. Let's zoom in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the moment, you can kind of see a bit muted today on that. We've still got our uptrend in play, but we do have a bit of resistance at 94,400. And we got the 50-day moving at 96,800. So it would be nice to get another good day. Let's see what happens in the next 24 hours. Ethereum, on the other hand, is looking even better. And of course, with buyers like Tom Lee around, it's got to be good. But we're already over the 50-day, and we're looking good. So we might have a little bit of a fake out with the death cross, and off we go. Everything is going in the right direction for that Christmas rally. And of course, Tom Lee is particularly bullish about the rally into January now. So there we go. Because we had the liquidation event on the 10th of October, so that's changed the whole outlook, and it's been deferred. We'll defer things for the time being. So January is the hot trot there. I presumably that when he's saying January, he's talking about towards the end of January. Typically, obviously over the Christmas holiday period, we have quiet time between Christmas Day after that and through to the 10th. Let's say the 10th when people are on holiday. So that bodes well for January. That also bodes well because the Pruvec sacrifice finishes on the 10th as well. So the timing is perfecto, amundo, magical, anundo. That's how we can say it. Grumpy says 2026, the year of Ethereum and PulseChain. I think so. And you know what? We've got everything aligning for it. All the stars are aligning. It's unbelievable. In fact, probably better than ever. The other thing is that that it reminds me very much feeling like we're coming into the end of December 2020, and we're entering 2021. It does kind of have a little bit of that feeling there. So 2020, of course, we had all the we had the COVID in the beginning, and all the authoritarian policies and the nonsense and the lies and the podium of truth and nonsense like that. And now we've had obviously Trump's had to reset a lot of things to deal with a lot of problems this year, and it's done a great job of that. And of course, we shall bear the fruits of all that in 26, 27. Now, there's always going to be a few little hiccups along the way. There's a lot of people that are trying to tear down the West, and they are our worst enemies. But actually, we've got everything lined up. Everything's looking good. It's looking so good for the next 2 years. All right, that is that. So we're at $3,342 at the moment, looking pretty good. And today we actually got it up to $3,477, so almost $3,500, which is not too far away. And if you think about it, from the Magic Carpet Ride Ethereum money getting back to break even at 37.73. So yeah, wherever that's hiding right now, wherever it's hiding. Now, of course, there's also the Hex AA lobby money running around as well. Presumably, there's quite a bit of that, although it's hard to say how much moved through the 2021 boom, but arguably there'll be a lot of that running around as well. So that is kind of cool. Maybe potentially up to 1.2 million ETH Richard may control, question mark, but certainly the potentiality is there. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. $3,344, looking pretty good. And we also had the Fusaka upgrade as well, right? Now, we also have some other stuff that's happening generally around crypto, which is very bullish. And that is the US SEC chairman, Paul Atkins, stated at the Blockchain Association Summit that multiple types of ICOs, initial coin offerings, should not be considered security transactions. And this is a very good, very nice change of view. And we'll focus on the regulation of tokenized securities. And of course, we know that he's very bullish about the stock market tokenizing onto cryptos, as Tom Lee is, potentially talking about that done within 2 years, which is one of the mega themes for crypto, particularly Ethereum. Obviously, it's tokenization and the stablecoin boom from the Genius Act, right? Those two things are the key. The Genius Act will probably really kick in probably into the end of next quarter. We'll do another review on that, but you get the bill passed, but then there's an earlier date. So typically, if the regulator doesn't get up and running on the Genius Act, then that would typically, I think the deadline was January 2027. But presumably the regulator's going to have that all ready to go, and so that could be as early as 6 months. So I'm just thinking it might be about March or April, but we'll try and do some an update on that and talk about that maybe tomorrow or something. But in any case, this is pretty exciting. So they will focus on tokenization of securities, which means getting TradeFi money, guys, accelerating that into crypto. So this is bullish. Now the SEC works for us. So the SEC used to destroy value under the previous chairman, and now the new chairman's going to create value. Hooray! Hooray! How the world turns. And that's what happens when you have the right people. When you have the right people, you get a much better world. You get a safer world, a more prosperous world, and a world that people feel happy about. So very, very exciting. Unless you're mentally insane. And there's a lot of people out there on the left that are like that. All right. So that is where we are right now. Let's get into the PulseChain. So that's good news, guys. Good news. All right, so let's go to the PulseChain routes and see how PulseChain responded to that. So we're on, I can't believe we're marching through towards 1,000 days since PulseChain went live on the 30th of May, 2023. And here we are. Here we are in day 943, almost about to finish. And we've got Pulse at the moment is not doing too good on that news, not really moving. But like the stock market was very demure, the crypto market was very demure for the majors. PulseChain also a bit flat there as well. So we're sitting just below 2,000, which is kind of a key milestone. 2,200 is also a milestone, which is just above that, and then 2,700 and then 3,300. That's kind of the marks there. We're down 5.4% at the moment, sitting at 20% of the mean sacrifice price. So we haven't dropped back down to 1,600 or something silly like that, but we're still holding around 2,000. Which is, by my count, just around or just under, or just a tad under, actually, the cost price of the sacrifice. So taking the total sacrifice dollars divided by the total Pulse issued at the time. So that's kind of the mark there where we are. PulseX at the moment is at quadruple 0168, down 5.5%. And the buy and burn sitting at 8.26% at the moment. I thought that when it was actually 8.27 yesterday, but anyway, 8.26% on the buy and burn. We got incentive token at the moment at 82 cents, is actually up 1.7%. So that's done not too bad recently. And then Hex at the moment is at 3,600 at the penny, down 4%. EHEX at 1,100 at the penny right now. Combined price X and PX at 4,700 at the penny. And this is the funny thing about this, is that Hex is such a juicy pickup, given the ownership structure at the moment with the large accounts and also the liquidity. So for me, it looks like a pretty darn good deal. I don't know. Not financial advice, but it does look kind of pretty good. PulseX is looking not too bad as well, but we still have a number of large wallets that are willing to dump it down on a pump. So got to get rid of those guys, get redistributed, and move up from there, right? All right, so that's kind of the play with the majors. Let's go to the gas prices. We'll go to gas prices here. We've got 225,000 beats right now, 2/10 of a penny for swap, just same as yesterday. Validators at the moment, 52,278. That's dropped off at like about 70 validators from the looks of it. So that's on the lower end of the range that we've seen the last 2 weeks. Let's have a look at the bridge value. Set to update. I'm pretty sure I went to the bridge. Okay, bridge 83.9 million, which is just down from yesterday. I think we're down a couple 100,000 from yesterday. I think we're at 84, weren't we? 84.2. So we might be down about 300 if my memory is correct. We've got ETH sitting at 6,000. We know that we've lost ETH and DAI and a little bit of USD Tether, but we've gained quite a lot of USDC over the last month. So that's kind of where we are right now. Yeah, that's not much else to say. Now let's have a little look at the other stable coins because we've got Fast Abdul. He's was in here earlier anyway, and we've got the liquidity forks, right? So we've got USDL, PXDC, HEXDC, and what's the other? Oh, I don't know why Ink Printer's not on here, so I don't know where the GoPulse guys are, but Ink Printer should be on there too. And we're about to have 2 more liquidity forks. We're going to have Coinwell, and we're going to have a Vault. Vault's going to be a little special. And I think Coinwell will do part of the wider ecosystem. But the Vault's going to be multi-chain, multi-collateral, which I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's pretty exciting. So yeah, very cool. So that's kind of where we are right now. And we've got a lot of stuff is sitting in these pools. But what we want, of course, is we want stable coins to move around. That's the challenge in crypto. To get them moving around, right? So these are liquidity forks. They're over collateralized. Coast is a fiat back one, right? But we want to get more of the stuff stable. We want a stablecoin model to move to be spent and to buy up assets and things like that. So that's why I've been such a fan of PUSD ALGO. You can see it's down the bottom here. It's not launched yet, but it's waiting for the Signum Oracle. So that will probably be the best bet for getting some degree of circulation there. That's also going to have a DeFi platform, so people will be putting it into the platform too. But generally, it might scale quite well, right? So won't have potentially some of the scalability issues. Now, when I talk about scalability with the decentralized algorithmic stablecoin, PUSD ALGO could be the first true one. And when I say true one, I mean the best hybrid. All right, so the best hybrid, and that is because it has some collateralization, right? But is that that it, even given the size of where PulseChain is at the moment, it's relative to that, right? So relative to that, so PulseChain obviously has to get bigger too, but I think PUSD can play a role in scaling the stablecoin value and therefore the TVL value in other tokens and protocols if it's widely used, if it gets used, and of course people can FOMO and by buying up the algo and then minting their PUSDL, right? The PUSD stablecoin. So I'm pretty excited about that. But it will be up against new stablecoins, right? So it's going to be up against the Vault one, all right? So the Vault dollar. It's also going to be up against the Rackham Rochelle Coinwell one, presumably. So that I'm not sure whether he's calling that RUSD, Rackham USD, which I would love. I would love him to make a stablecoin with his own name. That'd be funny. And cool at the same time. Hey, look, who doesn't like their own branded stablecoin? Come on. Maybe someone do a protocol where you can just make it where they just allow you to mint your own stablecoin instead of. I guess you can just do it with a token launcher, but you still got to hold it at $1, right? Still got to be able to peg it relatively to $1. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. So we've got a lot of innovation in the stablecoin space, which we want, right? We want that. It's going to be a big theme with the Genius Act, particularly into next year. So we've got at least 2 liquidity forks and a potentially the best algorithmic stablecoin coming as well. But we do need Signum Oracle for that, and maybe ETH to 10,000. I don't know. We'll see. ETH to 7,000. Maybe ETH to 7,000. We'll see. All right. So that's kind of the breakdown there. Let's get into the markets. So we've got total volume at the moment, $15 million. We'll just round it, $15 million. 24-hour volume there. Now this excludes the balance of forks, remember. So we've got 377,000 transactions right now. Top performer right now is Bria. Bria's a dog, and it's up 55%. So nice little move there. And of course, that is Jen's dog. Jen is Rackham Michelle's wife, and of course, the CEO of the overarching company. And so, yeah, that is up quite a bit there. So it's a nice little pump. It's been down in it's been in the dog box recently, but it got down to 0001 and it's now at 000266. Big pump today, of course, with the imminent launch. So we're going to be talking about that coming up very shortly. So that's kind of cool. We'll come back to that. So that's being pumped. What else? We've got a few other movers. BBC up a little bit there, 14%. UFO tied into the PDC family, up 13%. They've done a lot of cool things lately with their websites and new dashboards, and of course, Prairie Banana giving a lot of alpha in there as well. We've got Savannah Content Reward Token, been around for 6 months. That's up 12% today. Fitzgerald Company making a little bit of a comeback there, 4%. Sparta up a little bit, 4% as well. 9inch up 3.5% there. Most Wanted, the second biggest meme coin, pump time meme coin, behind Peacock, up 3.4%. Soil Sun Minimum up 4.2 cents, up 3%. Once again, expected to migrate to Solana. Boo! Yeah, absolutely. We've got P Tiger there right now, is up 2.8%. P Tiger there doing a lot of videos to support his projects. And we've got 9mm there as well. So 9mm up 2.8%, but 9mm, of course, if we get PulseChain on a run, this thing's going to get re-rated like a boss there. And they're doing lots of cool stuff around the NFTs and their monthly revenue allocations. And they just, always promoting their yields and profits and things. So doing pretty well, 9mm there. The second biggest DEX after PulseX, right? Doing pretty well. In fact, what's their volume right now? 1.9 million. So they've been doing about $2 million pretty much. So that's going to re-rate pretty fast if we start pumping the old PulseChain. What else? We got Firewell up 2.7%, making a little bit of a comeback the last couple of days. I don't know where it is overall. It's at 0014 right now. PDC the Grey is up 2.5% on their Tropa pair. Treasury Bill up 2.4%. Trump token on the pump tires up 2.4%. Those are some of the marks here. So just little increases today. Not much happening on the old PulseChain. Doubt token up 1.4%. Unity sitting at 10 cents, so up 1% there. So holding up pretty well. PDC the Grey peers, of course, almost 1% on the main peer Pulse. So yeah, we've got a few of the key leaders there. Let's quickly review that. So we've got Brea really making the big move, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We've got UFO making a little bit of a move there. And what else? 9mm making a little bit of a move. P Tiger a little bit. Trump tokens and some of the other pump tires like Most as well making a move, and Doubt tokens. So there we go. Some of the key ones there. We got Vouch, just pretty flat today. Vouch, of course, is the big competitor in my view to PDC, and that is currently just having a bit of a rally back after that bit of a sell down back on the 3rd. But let's look at the weekly chart. That's the weekly chart right now. Looking pretty good, actually, off that bounce at 4/0/1500. So, yeah, looking at 1878. So this could do pretty well. Remember, it is the number one validator on PulseChain, over 5,000 validators now. So it's a bit of a powerhouse, plus with the trading tax of, was it 5%, I think. So pretty cool. That's from Jexa, very smart guy in Australia, Jexa there. It's not surprising that Jex is doing things like Vouch, just like Fast Abdul's doing things, with the liquidity forks. Two smart guys doing some pretty cool things. All right, so time dividend as well from KG, talking about another smart guy, KG there, 0.5%. And so, yeah, we've got some good stuff there. Now, often you hear me say, a lot of DeFi is only as good as the people that are running it. And so, those are all pretty good names, right? So they're doing good things, creating value for the community, and it's exciting times, creating value for PulseChain. Oh boy, wrecked on crypto in the house there. Good to see you. Welcome. So that's kind of where we are with the markets there. Time dividends. Let's have a look at that overall chart there. That is currently at 1.5 cents. 1.5 cents at the moment. Let's have a weekly chart. It's coming off the bottom. So kind of has these obvious ranges, right? You just got to be patient. So if you're depending on your patience, how quickly you want to get your pump. It's just coming back. Now, if we get PulseChain rallying into 26, 27, this thing could really run away, guys. Honestly, it's 3 million market cap, and as soon as value goes up, all the swapping fees go up, etc. And the growth of the wallets and all sorts of stuff. And they've got big influencers like Matt Wallace, pumping. He's got 2.3 million followers. So, there's lots of good things happening in there, and this could get re-rated pretty quickly too, like 9mm. So they're all kind of got the same theme there. And that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much green. We've got 43 that are slightly green. Everything else is in the red, including so many of the popular tokens. all the cool kids. So yeah, we got a lot of the Peacock stuff is down at the moment. Zero, Peahen, Peacock. These are all down at the moment. SCADA down a little bit to 8%. SolidX sitting at 65% right now. So yeah, that's all where we are right now. Erect on Crypto says, yeah, fastest doing things. I got my eye on Vault 369. Whoa. I won't tell him. I won't tell him that you're looking at his project. I'm not going to tell him. It's a secret between you and me. Secret between me. All right, let's move on. So that's the markets at the moment. So we're sitting on around about 15 million bucks in trading volume, excluding the two balance of forks. Let's jump into some of the news around Liberty Swap. Obviously, this has been a major deal, even if the price is down a little bit, because it's doing pretty well, right? So we got Railgun, of course, launched was launched by Liberty Swap. Now you do have to download the Railway wallet to use that, interact with the Liberty Swap site. So you know, I'll do that. I might put a post out about that later on. And they're going to be adding in Tornado Cash. Now, we believe that this was going to be beginning of next year, but it does look like they may be able to actually launch it this side of Christmas, which would be great. So Tornado Cash launching soon. So yeah, let's keep a look out there. Sell pressure has dropped massively. Trading tools are also set to release in 2026. Now, we know that they were talking about potentially launching potentially 200 different type of trading tools. So I'm not exactly sure where that's all heading, but certainly they're laying the infrastructure for things like that, right? With the bridging and the swapping and the privacy and the Tornado Cash, the rail, well, all that sort of stuff. And it's a big deal for PulseChain. So taking us to the next level, guys. More trading volume for PulseChain means more buy pressure for the bird. Talking about Peacock, of course. Peacock has a real chance to deliver strong value in the community. Now, obviously, it's going to fluctuate a little bit here and there. At the moment, it's sort of got that W pattern and accumulation. So, let's see how that goes. Anyway, so the technology is rolling out, and Liberty Swap's playing a big role in that right now. And this is really exciting. And it's getting big coverage, from Dirty Crypto, Crypto Coffee, Somi, people like that. So everyone's pretty exciting there. I think it's got a little update here, isn't it? PulseChain Liberty Swap releases their roadmap for the final 20 days of December. It's got a little picture here of that. So 20 ETH per swap limit. So that got completed today, actually. Yeah, so they've increased their swap limit to 20 ETH. They want to get up to 100 ETH, which would be fantastic. We're all happy with that. USDC on PulseChain to USDC on Solana coming up. Increased ETH Railgun to ETH PulseChain swap limit, raised 20 ETH. ETH Railgun to PulseChain asset swap. Coinbase on-ramp to PulseChain, and that's a big deal, right? Coinbase being one of the three big US on-ramps. UI upgrades to create a smoother flow for both Railgun and public swaps. Technical roadmap for 26 and Peacock roadmap 26. And presumably it's going to include a lot of the trading tools, potentially staking Peacock and earning meme coin airdrops, and new dashboards for that, and probably a lot of other stuff that is coming down low. They've got so much stuff they can do. So that's potentially going to create a lot of value in there. Now, the other thing, of course, it also gives us the chance for getting one of the $1 billion memes. If we can get Peacock as the chosen one with the utility backing, which a lot of the other coins don't have, business backing it, then we could potentially get in the top 10 meme coins in the world, and that'd be just another bullish catalyst for PulseChain. Now, it's not inevitable, of course, but that'd be pretty exciting. I think we need about 100x from here to do that. So, that can happen pretty fast. We're certainly seeing, a little bit of supply getting spread around over, 215 pools or something, 230 pools. All this stuff all adds together slowly and surely. Building the revenue, getting supply sinks, all that good stuff, and building more value in utility. So that's kind of the play on that one. So kind of cool. In fact, I think they got the little picture there. There it is right there. So I just missed that one. But that is there too. So we might hit the repost on that. And he's going here, the demand. Already, they only just launched the Railgun just a couple of days ago. And already the demand for Railgun is very high right now. Our tech stack shows solid speed and reliability with almost no issues or delays in the past 36 hours. If we keep this performance through the rest of the week, we start scaling next week. So that's huge. So just non-stop good news coming from the old Liberty Swap team. And that in itself builds confidence from the rest of the market, right? So exciting times coming from the team. They also got a sense of humor. So they like to do that. Sometimes it can be a bit shocking, but it's out there. So they're working on a lot of stuff with Chainlink as well. So doing a lot of cool stuff there. So yeah, very cool. So we're doing lots of cool things. I'm just scrolling, just having a quick look at this. There's all the new posts that I hadn't looked at. Yep, so we've got capital flowing in and out of PulseChain, so that's kind of cool. What else? Yeah, they're talking about the Fed interest rate cuts earlier. Got a bit of humor there. 20 ETH swap per ETH on the railgun. Very cool. Now, apparently that matters because unlike Tornado Cash, there's no traceable source wallet, so that's kind of neat. So the bigger money will be able to flow, and they'll be able to flow without being tracked, and that means people like CryptoSolve won't be able to track them, and they'll be able to go. They're going to add in buying and selling too, aren't they? So you got your privacy wallet with the ZK wallet address, and then they're going to be tying in Petius, right? So that's another big thing they're doing. That's massive, right? So we could have all these magical buys pushing the market, and everyone's going, "What the hell? Where'd that come from?" Well, it kind of be you'll be able to see the buys, but you won't know who's doing it. That's kind of the idea. What else? We got a few other people in the chat. Let's have a look. What else? There we got Sean O'Malley in house. Good morning, all. Let's pump. Absolutely. And we got Serge in the house as well. Reposted the stream. Appreciate that as always, Serge. And we got Wrecked on Crypto says, I said it once. I'll say it again. Pulse is very undervalued. Indeed. All right. Redistribution time, man. That's you're picking it up off the bottom. That's kind of the idea. The Band-Aid got ripped off, and you got that big discount sale on. How long will it last? Probably not too long. All right, so that is the play on Liberty Swaps. Are doing a lot of great things and more to come. So to sum that up, they're going to tie in, Petius. They're going to be expanding the limits both on the bridge and on the railgun. They're going to be tying in Tornado Cash. They're going to be tying in Petius for buying and selling. That's a major deal. And it might be a route that it opens up the route that Richard Hart could use if he wanted to use some magic money to magic carpet ride everything. So without being traced by all the blockchain analysts. So that could be pretty exciting. And that bodes well for leading into the 10th of January when the Prevex sacrifice finishes. So it's pretty cool. And then they're also working obviously on a lot of trading tools and potentially Peacock staking and meme airdrops. So much stuff. So we've got to really keep, that's why we're keeping up to date with them just about every day, because they really are moving at a fast rate of knots and for next year's glory. Now, the two big projects launching coming up that we're aware of is the first one is CoinMafia from Gangster Style there, CoinMafia. Snipers Assemble already see hundreds of you degens with bots sniping and camping our contract, ROFL. CoinMafia launch is imminent. Spots are limited at the bottom. Don't sleep or you will be buying the tops. Get ready. So that is getting pretty close there from the Iraq and Rochelle team. So kind of cool. And we've got lots of people commenting, usual stuff. But that is coming up there from CoinMafia. And I'm not sure what else we got there. Joshua Wu also, of course, is involved with that. He's choosing one person to kick off with the referrals. It's going to be a pretty advanced token launcher site or launchpad. You're going to be able to create, trade, and launch tokens with bottom curves across all major EVMs. So it's not just PulseChain, but of course the PulseChain community is his main community that follows him. But he has spent, probably a good 6 months broadening his reach to other chains with professional marketing. And no doubt that will be ramping up probably 100x or 10x or something on what he's done so far. So pretty cool. It's coming, guys. It's coming. We did have a big post here as well. I think we got the res here. So we got tier 1. True fairness and anti-snipe tech. So it's going to have the bot killer. Pump funds bonding curve starts at pennies, letting sniper bots up to 99% of early buys in some analysis. Front-run humans. It does indeed. You buy at 0001, they dump at 111. Retail gets wrecked. Pump tires fares better on low traffic PulseChain, but still vulnerable. CoinMafia artificial floor enforces fair entry from buy number 1, capping creator grabs at 10%. So creator basically can't get 82%, they can get 10%. This levels the field, reduces gas rugs by 80%. And the similar protected models. Get general launchpad studies results, harder to snipe, easier to for communities to pump legitimately. So what we already saw with pump ties, we already saw about 2.5% of the tokens that get issued end up getting bonded with the bonding curve and pushed over to PulseX. Be interesting to see what the percentage is over here. Of course, pump fund I think is really pathetic. I think it's like 0.5%. That's really, really low. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to have zero buy fees, so pure liquidity magic. Pump funds 1% fee, siphons $100 million from users. Creators taking a slice, great for the platform. Bad for pumps. Pump ties keeps it cheap, but doesn't eliminate it. CoinMafia routes 100% of buys in to liquidity. No skim. Isn't that cool? I think that's really neat. This means fast curve fills, higher graduation rates, and bigger post listing spikes. In the bonding curve math, more liquidity equals steeper price ramps, e.g. 2x faster to 10k market cap versus a fee-drained rivals. So pretty exciting there. Pretty cool. I don't know if we've got the list there, but anyway. Number 3 is multi-chain and plus DEX freedom, a no-chain jail. Pump fund locks you to Solana, congested, outage prone. Of course, pump ties to PulseChain. Now, that's interesting, because we're going to have on X1 chain, which is basically Solana 2.0, and probably going to be unlikely to have any outages. So it's going to be, the new improved. They're going to have GGen launchpad launching. It's not exactly, I don't know if it's a bonded one like pump ties, but I don't think it is. But that's going to be coming. So we're going to be looking for something similar to that on X1. That'll be interesting coming up. CoinMafia spans all EVMs and V2 DEXs. Launch on Base for cheap gas, trade on PancakeSwap for BSC volume. This taps 10x the liquidity pools. Pretty cool. So EVM TVL 50 billion versus Solana's 5 billion, or Pulse's sub 1 billion. It's being generous at the moment. Whales love it. One launch can hit the multiple ecosystems without bridges. So there we go. That's pretty cool. It's going to have a refund safety net, and I think this is kind of neat innovation. No other platforms does this. 7-day flop, get your Sol ETH BNB back. So I think that's going to make for a lot more capital flow into these things for sure, without a doubt. So fully on-chain, audit-approved pump fund and pump tires. Pray or do your own research. Most launches die quietly. They do indeed. Costing users millions weekly. This builds trust. Early data from similar refund pilots. Projected IDOs shows 3x higher retail participation. I wouldn't be surprised. That is going to be a lot more popular for sure. Number 5, bigger, badder pumps, math backed. Lower supply caps plus higher graduation bars, full to junk. Only real demand survives, leading to 5-10x bigger post-listing gains. Pump funds average 2x flop rate. Pump tires 37,000 threshold is low. Inviting more rugs. Pump funds 69k is better, but bot riddled. Equation insight in a bonding curve, price equals function of demand and supply. CoinMafia tweaks both for volatility. Think pump funds viral, but multi-chain and rug proof. What do you got? Number 6 here, edge ecosystem edge and future proofing. Pump fund dominates Solana memes, $2 billion market cap, but it's whale bot heavy and facing saturation. Revenue down 50% from peaks. Pump ties juice PulseChain, but stays niche. That is true. The CoinMafia multi-chain play positions it between 26 chain agnostic meta. EVMs are 70% of DeFi volume. Early buzz, 60 plus likes on launch post days, signals virality, especially with refunds drawing cautious degens. Yeah, that's true. Now, the interesting thing is going to be where Liberty Swap, which is going to be supporting apparently a new front end for pump ties as well, which we didn't talk about earlier. So presumably if that's still on the roadmap with the airdrops and the peacock staking, be interesting whether they decide to interplay with CoinMafia at all, even though it's multi-chain. Obviously, PulseChain is one of those. So that'd be an interesting avenue. So there we go. Number 7, upcoming tax tokens. Mintable. Where did we go there? We lost it. What happened there? Mintable NFTs from coins to collectible empires. Pump fund dabbles in basic image uploads, but no true NFT minting. It's tokens only, no rarity tiers or metadata magic. Pump tires, even bare bones, no NFT support at all. CoinMafia flips this with an upcoming one-click NFT minting. Upload assets, set supply tiers, and launch via bonding curve. Price ramps up with demand, graduates on OpenSea Uniswap. So a really nice addition to this launcher site. Multi-chain means Ethereum rarities on base gas, BSC volumes for flips, integrates with tax tokens for royalty splits, 10% creator cut on real. We might see a lot of people use this, honestly. Be pretty popular there. Data from, I can think of a number of teams straight off the bat that would be really useful for that. Data from NFT launchpads, so 3 to 5x higher engagement versus plain tokens, and CoinMafia anti-snipe and refunds make it safer entry for artists and degens, turning hype into holdable empires. Now, typically, we see NFTs can often move late in the end of the cycle after people are nice and fat and rich, but actually this might end up bring a lot of teams in to launch that, and some particularly creative teams. I think it works very well for them, or people that have DeFi that they can use NFTs for like this, so it might end up being pretty good. Total market domination, all EVMs and full suite token suite, unrivaled scale. Pump Fun and Pump Tires are siloed relics. Solana or PulseChain only. Meme coins only. No bells like taxes or NFTs, capping them at niche volumes amid a multi-chain world where EVMs command 70% of DeFi. TVL, 60 billion as of December 2025. They're fine for quick Solana and PulseChain flips, but can't scale to the full crypto pie. And I'd agree with that. That seems a fair statement. Closing statement. In the unforgiving arena of crypto launchpads, the CoinMafia architecture is a masterclass in numerical inevitability. Bonding curves calibrated for optimal demand thresholds, supply caps engineered for filter frailty, and refund mechanics rooted in pro-rata precision that mathematically safeguard retail without compromise. And I think that's going to be that sort of safety net can be extremely popular there. Should this model falter, it would only echo the vulnerabilities already plagued Fun and Pump Tires, where bot leverage and fee erosion have eroded market trust metrics far beyond redemption. There's always smart people trying to work edge cases, so it'll be interesting. Yet CoinMafia's zero profit ethos on buys deliberately forgoes skim to channel every cent into liquidity, weaponizing altruism as a competitive annihilator, dismantling rivals' revenue metrics and rendering market lockouts obsolete. Not survival of the fittest, but extinction of the flawed. There we go. Some big stuff there. So that is from Rackham Michelle. Looking pretty good. So they put some good thoughts into that. Let's see. We've got some more comments in the chat. Ramping up viewers right now. Ramping up. Don't forget to hit the repost button on the show. If you're watching on X, smash it out. We're 57 minutes on the hour, so we've still got a bit of time to go. So there we go. If you hit the repost button, that will help a lot. Thanks, everybody. Obviously, the only large channel on PulseChain community that does daily shows, and we focus just on the crypto and no drama. PG channel as well. PG. There's a third thing at our channel. I forgot what it was though. I can't remember. All right, so let's scroll down. Let's scroll. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We got Paul C in the house there. Bit of fun. What price will PulseX and Hex be this time next year? I hopefully up and to the right there, Paul. What's the name of this coin? Well, it's going to be, I believe it's going to be called maybe CoinMafia or something like that. I don't know I don't think it's out yet, but that's imminent. Launch is imminent. Yeah. So you want to keep tabs on that. That's Rack and Michelle. I'll post the link to Rack and Michelle in the X there if you want to go check it out. All right. It will have a token, by the way. Check my pulse. Says, good evening, Superman. Just got home from work. What's the word on the rate cut? 25 basis points. Check my pulse. That is what we got. And at least one in the forecast. But that may change once we get new leadership into next year. What else? Grimp says, what? I'm here for the drama. No. All right, so that's Rack and Michelle if you want to find out more. Also, Joshua Wu is another one running that program. If you're after a referral code, it's going to have referrals. You want to hit up Joshua Wu. It's imminent, so it could be today. You think rank launches today? It could be today. It said imminent, so it could be a 24-hour window. Normally, you would probably use the word imminent in a 24-hour window. It is a weekday as well, so that kind of makes sense. I don't know if he's got any comments about it at the moment. Yeah, nothing in there yet, but it could be very, very, very soon. I'd also probably join the Telegram if you want to get the latest, hottest takes on that. We'll try and keep up to date with that as much as possible. The next other big thing that's going to be launching, which is a little bit more on the risk spectrum, is the TruDeFi project is coming up. Neil Fatishias is one of the well-respected leaders in that camp, and so that's coming up soon as well. It was also showcased in the Monster thread, PulseChain's weekly Monster thread number 31, and so it's coming up, and it's got some pretty big supporters. They're going to be live with Vets in Crypto, obviously a well-respected community member as well, and Emmett Farm as well. So obviously with Kairos and the Emmett Farm team. And so, they're going to have a chat about that, discussing their projects and how TruDeFi integration amplifier will boost their protocol success. 22X launches very soon. That's coming up there. Stay tuned for the announcement. And as I understand it, that is not going to be. That is coming up. Yeah, anyway. So I don't think they have a token, so you got to get up to speed on the tokenomics. But that's all about making a 2x in your pulse bags, I think. Launch is getting close. It's time to gather your pulse. There will only be day one. Don't miss out. Now, this is kind of like an index play, as I understand it, in the basic sense. And so that they basically invest into top tier protocols, or at least pretty bullish protocols. I think that's the way it's pretty much working. So it's nice to see sort of index opportunities coming into PulseChain. Now you still have to analyze them deeply, just like any other project. But they're going to have a live stream coming up, so you should probably check that out. So that is coming up there, and kind of cool. We'll hit the repost button on that and copy the link, and you can check that out. So that is TruDeFi. We'll probably have a better breakdown of that coming up. I think we're going to have an interview with the team possibly. So we'll probably save all the juicy details for that. Hexkin's highlight says Metaverse has just launched a ticker, Meta OG WebChef. Oh, it's on a WebChef token. PLSX printer, so it's printing PLSX. Just got an alert. Okay, cool. So if you're in the OG WebChef team, you can go and check that out. Or if you like OG WebChef tokens, once again, not financial advice, do your own due diligence. I haven't seen it, so it just got posted in the chat. I would like a green Christmas this year, says Check My Pulse. Indeed, and it's looking good for it, I think. That is the TruDeFi interview coming up, so you can check that out if you want. Coming from Neil Fatishias. What else is going on there? I think that's it. So we'll bounce out of there. I think they might have had another update earlier. They got a little video here. They got bounty hunters here. So they had some bounty program, and please reply to our post with your wallet address and await your share of the community bounty. This is on the 9th, but I think this may have finished. Launch date will be published shortly, so I'm not sure if that's still open. You might want to get in the Telegram there. A win launch a few days before Christmas. So looks like this has got still a little bit more time to go. We're the 10th of December US time. So yeah, it looks like, let's say a few days. What's that? Maybe the 20th, 21st or something. Enough time to possibly have a double. A few days before Christmas, enough time to possibly have a double in 2025. Wow, really? They're that aggressive about a doubling. That's interesting. Stay tuned. The launch date will be announced this weekend. So that's coming up this weekend, guys. The launch date for that. So if you want to check out TruDeFi, definitely want to. There's a bounty program. See if that's still available. You might be able to participate in that. What else? They've got some little pictures here as well. Contact us about getting a partner ID link without integration. They're going to have referrals as well. So both of these projects got referrals, and I like that. I like the referrals. I think it's good to have that in projects. We haven't had that many projects on PulseChain with referrals, but I think that's kind of a good aspect. Remember, Richard Hart had referrals, right? Particularly back in Hex in the days. I know he's doesn't do referrals so much now with the Prevex, but actually they can be quite useful. And you got to remember, a lot of teams don't have the profile of Richard Hart, right? So yeah, it's just relative to who you are in terms of that. So yeah, they got partner links. All users will be a continuous cash flow into participating protocols. So you've got a few examples here of some tokens that you might be able to claim. They got Tetra, Nope, Pulse Bitcoin, Emmett, Vouch. So it looks a little bit of an indication of where they might be heading with this protocol as a sort of an index setup. Don't miss day one earnings with TruDeFi. The earlier the entry, the faster rewards as well. All right. So every project has its risk return trade-offs, and you need to do your research on it. But we will try and get something set up around that, and maybe have an interview on there. All right. So another launch coming up. Very cool. So how are we doing for time? It's 1 hour and 4 minutes, so we've got plenty of time. Let's go look at ProvX, shall we? Let's type properly though first. ProvX. All right, so some good stuff happening. I mean, really, it's we've got lots of good things happening. Liberty Swap, CoinWell, CoinMafia coming up, and presumably CoinWell could be up before the end of Christmas too. That's the full DeFi suite. We'll keep a lookout for that. Obviously, wanting to get the sentiment up, so maybe he's going to wait a couple of weeks to see the ETH that's really starting to pump. Maybe get over 4K or something. We'll see. And then we've got. We got Vault coming as well from Faster Door, which we're excited about too. That's going to be another big one. So some really heavy hitters, and I've got to get into maybe towards another week or so, maybe do a video on what I think are blue chips, because we want to get at least half a dozen blue chip type of protocols on PulseChain that are really investable, that you have a lot more confidence about, and potentially making some mad gains too. DCA and the cause is the way. Did some SACs, ICOs, derivatives, etc. Hey, look, you can't go wrong with the cause. So you should have, a good portfolio with the cause in it. No drama there. Absolutely. But if you wanted to look at some leverage plays on Pulse, then you need to do your due diligence on that. Now, if you guys haven't joined the Strategy Club, I strongly encourage you to do that. The links to that is in the video description on YouTube. So we're on 3 YouTube channels and also on X. If you go to the top X, it's the bottom link, I think it is, to the Whoop store. It's just over $1 a day for be a member of the Strategy Club in our Discord. It's a private Discord, and you can join another 1,100 people in there. It's really great. And of course, we also have a help desk and everything else. You get access to the general Discord's facilities. And of course, we have strategy chats and everything. And we're pretty much witnessed just about everything on PulseChain in real time. And we've had some good times in there. So if you want a constant intel flow, join the Strategy Club today. The link's available there. And it's just over, I think it's $35 a month. So just over $1 a day. Fantastic value. And I'm also porting intel in there constantly. And as you guys know, I'm pretty much here all the time. So get in there on the Strategy Club and we'll see you in there. All right, so a new RH tweet says, check my pulse. Well, we'll pick that up, Phil. Should we pick that up before we do the daily ProvX results? It's not quite finished the day, is it? Richard Hart. Let's have a look here. All right, so you've onboarded more people to coins I like that are in crypto, not in crypto. Show results. So in crypto, not in crypto. Well, it's hard to tell. Isn't it? It's a very difficult question. As you guys know, I've been streaming for 6 years, virtually every day, with a few days off here and there, and covering Hex and PulseChain. So it's I don't know who was in crypto, who was not in crypto. I know a lot of no coiners come in and watch. A lot of crypto people, obviously the low hanging fruit. So it's an impossible question to answer, actually. Now, if you were doing it one-to-one, like if you weren't doing streaming and you were doing it like manually onboarding somebody, like we've had Brian, our community leader, it must have onboarded, I don't know, maybe 150 to 200 people manually, like actually talking, having chats. So Brian's done that. So he'd be able to probably answer that, have a good chance at answering that. But when you're doing, video influencer, you just don't know. You don't know. There's obviously a lot of crypto people. That's kind of the low-hanging fruit. So that presumably would dominate, is the argument. But look, algorithms pull in lots of people that might just type in what is Bitcoin, what is PulseChain, all sorts of random stuff like that from ads they've seen. So you just don't know. You've onboarded people more coins that are not in crypto. Well, I'm going to say in crypto, right? Because it's hard to tell. So that is out there from Richard. We might repost that because it's a nice little marketing one. Check my pulse says, I'm just looking for trustworthy staking of cores. Absolutely. We should have a fat bag of cores, because especially at the prices now, they're so cheap to get, right? That it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously not financial advice. Do you enjoy doing all that sort of stuff? All right, so Superman, the hardest man, working man in crypto. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, so that is where we are right now on the old Richard. So nice to see Richard posting that. Let's see if there's any comments about that, actually. Nick Hellman says, can you provide a full list of coins you like? Well, it's obviously Richard Hart core coins, right? That's and ProvX, no doubt. All mine are not in crypto. They sacrifice for PulseX, Hex on the way up. Half of them are DCA'd, which is good. There we go. We've got World Liberty Fries in there. I've definitely been dragging the newbies in. I'm going to do some walkthrough videos for them. So we got a lot of people doing no coiners, right? No coiners, new people. But then there's also, you've got to also reach out to the existing market as well of low, hanging fruit, because you don't have to educate people in DeFi, right? So they're already smart. They know how to use all the tools. And then you've got people in CeFi. They live in centralized exchanges. They're not near as talented, as generally speaking, as people in DeFi. Maybe they're a bit more focused on margin trading, some of them, because they get pulled in by Ivan on Tech and many other people shilling the old margin trading, which is very high risk, right? We know that maybe 98% of the traders, I mean, people say 95, but it's more like probably 98% of the traders end up failing. We see big liquidation events all the time in crypto with the shorts and the longs and the open interest and all the rest of it. So it's a pretty brutal place. Check My Pulse says, I voted crypto. No one else outside even cares to hear about it. That's the truth, and I tend to agree with you, Check My Pulse. But like I say, there are people that do, on onboarding friends and stuff like that. They'll have a good idea that if they're onboarding no coiners and stuff. So we obviously got a few examples here. The syntax in the sentence is hurting my portfolio, bro. That's pretty funny. Not in crypto has been easier onboards. So easier onboards for not in crypto. So I mean, it really depends on what relationships are, etc. I literally don't know anyone in the real world that is in crypto but me. That's right, and you get a lot of that, right? So if you actually talk to no coiners, they have no idea what you're talking about, right? There's just like crypto. They might know Bitcoin maybe a little bit. It's risky or something. That's probably the things that you'll get typically. But there are people that onboard a lot of people, and they do find out about it. So we've got a bit of a mixture of everything, right? We do have to onboard a lot of no coiners, of course. That's all part of the thing. I was onboarded to Pulse because of PDI. Yeah, well, that's true too. So PDI has definitely, even if you don't like it or it's not really succeeded that well so far, it's certainly had its pumps and its dumps. But it has been good marketing. The community is one of the biggest communities in PulseChain, maybe top 3, maybe number 1. Who knows? But they're definitely top 3. And they do a lot of branding there. They've got a lot of influence support like Somi and others. So, it is a bit of a marketing brand. Although, it's can be full of disappointment if you're getting dumped on or whatever. But there's always Hopium and Layer 0. Right? The next hope is Layer 0, and maybe some modified fork from USDX or something. Who knows? That will take in PDI and get it off the market, right? So there may be a plan there playing out. PDI to $1 may still be in the future. We shall see. All right, so that is from Richard. Now let's get to the results. We've got 1 minute and 53 seconds. So good timing. Good timing there. That's worked out perfectly for the end of the day results. Let's do a refresh though. We're counting in on the end of day number 29. Can't believe it. We're at 1 minute and 41 seconds to go. We might as well just wait and for that to happen, and then I'll do the final result. 50-50 split for me, says Sean. Yeah, well, that's a good split, isn't it? That's a good split. Yeah, that's a good split. Yeah, I have no idea. Because I'm streaming. I don't know. I mean, presumably it's a lot of DeFi people, and then a few CeFi people come in, and then and a lot of no coiners. No coiners can hear about crypto all over the place from random things, right? Could be watching CNBC, or they could be watching, one of the big people like Tom Lee or something, or they could be, capture a video of Richard Hart and then start typing in PulseChain. I mean, there's all sorts of things, Crypto Coffee doing a video. It's all sorts of ways people can find out. People just talking to their neighbor, who knows. People handing out pamphlets and around the block. We've had a few PulseChain people doing that, which I think is really cool. I actually think that's a really good idea if they do a good brochure. Go do your block every day. I mean, if you did your block every, maybe you did a block every once a week, and you did that 52 weeks or something. Let's say even 6 weeks. Let's say you just do it for 6 weeks, just for pragmatic sake. So you did it once every week for 6 weeks, your own block. So you just walked around the block, you delivered pamphlets there. I bet you would get a very high conversion rate in there, like way higher. So if you had let's say we take a low conversion rate of 0.5%, you're probably going to do, maybe 5 to 10%. I mean, it could be really high. If you did it every day. That's all it might take. You just got to hit them 6 times, hit them 6 times in a row. You got to have a pretty good flyer though. You got to have a pretty good gimmick. Gimmick's another good one, right? You got to be careful what you write too. Hey Bob, or dear homeowner. Remember those ones? So you got to get really careful there. Anyway, we just rolled over the day, guys. Day 29 is just finished. So let's do a refresh. We're on day 30. You can see that. Bam. So we've got the rate at day 29 was $1.62 for 10,000 points, plus the volume ranking bonus on top. So now we've gone to day 30, and it's now $1.72 for 10,000 points. So there we go. It's up pretty significant now. We're getting up in the high end. Now let's go to the results. We're at 16.25 million. That's pretty much it. 16.25 million in sacrifice at the moment. We've got 319 billion points, 13,110 sacrifices. We crossed over 13,000 yesterday. And you know what, guys? I've got the snapshots, so we know what yesterday was. I sound like an idiot, but there we go. It's good to be an idiot sometimes. No, it's not really. That would mean if I was an idiot, I'd be on the left. I'm not on the left. Very good there. All right, so we had yesterday. We were at 15.8 million. 15.8 million. So we've gone up quite a bit today actually. Now we did have that big seller of what was it? PulseX. I think it was PulseX. And they routed back into the sacrifice. I don't know why they chose today. It's an odd. Why did they choose day 29? Why don't they just choose day 21? That was a weird thing there. So that's probably explains most of the jump today. So we went from 15.8 million to 16.25, which is a pretty big jump. That's $446,000. So I think you can find that analysis from Crypto Solve. I think he did something on that. So yeah, that is a big jump today. In terms of the sacrifice, the leaders are still the same, except for number 2. So number 2 is the one that has jumped everything up. So wallet F4C2, that has jumped from yesterday. It was sitting at 315,000. It is now 564,000. So the bulk of that, big amount of that money was from wallet number 2. Anything else in the top ones here? I'm just having a quick look through. All the other ones. Oh no, we've got some changes. Okay, so we've got another wallet that's come from probably the second page or third page, but it's now sitting at number 9. So that is coming at 224K. So that's now explained. That's got pushed down to 224. 4C. No, that's been pushed down as well. Weird. We got number 10 was 132. We're at 140 there, so that's also been pushed out. So we had some shifts in the wallets in spot number 9. And number 7 yesterday was 186. That's been pushed down now to number 9. So I'm just going through the wallets here to see which ones have moved. 82, 8C. So we've got this brand new wallet here, F4C. So F4C is brand new, and that explains pretty much all the jump there that we've got there. So they've topped up there, that wallet there, and I think that was the PulseX seller. So that's taken number 2 spot and pushed. Yesterday's number 2 was the third wallet here, 8C, and that's been pushed down to number 3 now. And their rate yesterday, they were holding a rate of 2.3. Their rate's gone down to 2.26 now. So they got hit a bit there. But their points have gone up. The points have gone up though. So because they added another $15,000. That's why. So the points have gone up to offset that. And so yeah, wallet one there now, it's gone wherever they were before. They've jumped up hundreds of thousands, $450,000 or whatever it is. And so that's gone to 9.5 billion. So they've jumped massive there and taken number 2 spot. Now got a multiplier of 2.3. So that is the big changes there today. So big day in the office. So what's that? 425K. So presumably this one here is the bulk of that. So that would have put them at about 150K before that, is my guess. So that is the logic. So we have a new number 2. And it came in big style and dumped the PulseX chart down. I think that was the one. I think we've got the link there on Crypto Solve, so we'll have a quick look at that. And I'm pretty sure that all ties in pretty well. Crypto Solve. Oh, Crypto Solve. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I think he was the one that covered that. Yeah, it's got other posts here, but we'll scroll down here. Yeah, so here we are 15 hours ago. Same guy that tanked his Pulse and PulseX bags today, sacked all of it to PruveX. There we go. Via what either looks like a small private pool or one man's electric wallet collection. Something like that. So I'm pretty sure it's this guy here. We got there. What's that wallet? 4C2, yeah. So 4C2, you can see it there. So this is the wallet that's jumped the... why it did it today, I don't know. It's bizarre. That's bizarre today. The logic would have been day 21. So picture this dude trying to figure out if dumping his entire bags near the lows to sack at an increasingly terrible rate makes sense. Yeah, there's not anything. There's no obvious reason why you do it. It's pretty sad. But he dumped down the PulseX chart there. So it all goes together. So just when you thought we couldn't get anything to smash the charts, some I don't know, apparent irrational move comes into play. We're on. That's the results at the moment. So number 2 is coming. Maybe jump from about 150 up to that over $500,000 mark. Gone from PulseX to the thing, and I would have probably, if you're going to do anything, you maybe moved into Hex, if anything, if you're going to prove X in my view. But anyway, if you're following Richard, if Richard's going to make prove X an easier pump, if that's the logic, then maybe it's a master move still. It's still at that rate, $62, whatever it was, with a high multiplier. Top sacrifices now: Ethereum at 11.8 million and PulseChain 3.6. So how did that compare to yesterday? Well, we had 11.4, so we got 400k. It's all come from Ethereum, which means that they've sold the PulseX down and moved over the official bridge or through Liberty. I think it was through Liberty Swap actually, and then which may be good for fees for Liberty Swap. I think it was Liberty Swap, and then that's been sacrificed from the Ethereum side. But essentially that is PulseChain money. So PulseChain money is pretty much only gone up by what's that? About $19,000. PulseChain's only got from $19,000 sacrifice, but actually you got to add in the bulk of that Ethereum, which is $420,000 has come from that sacrifice there, and who dumped down PulseX. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of that money there for this ProveX sacrifice here. And the Ethereum there will be rotated through the bridge or through Liberty Swap or something like that into the Ethereum balance, but how much is a question mark, but certainly a lot. What else we got here? We got Frank White in house there. Bang bang, Pulse gang. Good to see you, Frank White. Big welcome. We got Check My Pulse team says never mind setting up wallet and centralized exchanges. Now have to bridge. Lots lost them. Did onboard through Internet Money Wallet and Liberty Swap. Doors are opening. Yeah, it's great. So we've got Internet Money Wallet. There's a few other wallets around people can use, and then Liberty Swap makes bridging so easy now from a lot of popular chains. So it really is easy to onboard. What else there? We got consistency is the key. Always is. That's number one. You should live by that principle. It's one of my 6 principles I used to use professionally, and it's the one that I apply today, which is why I've been doing streaming for so long. All was built for Hex, indeed. All right, so that is the play right now. In fact, that's the results. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's just scroll down here a little bit here to the bottom, just to see some of the sacrifices. People can come back and look at this video and check it out in due course. I kind of like archiving this knowledge. Bitcoin there, sitting about 18k. We still have some good ones here. BSC base chain, Bitcoin seem to have good amounts, which is kind of a little cool insight for people that are developers that are going multi-chain to see what sort of PulseChain people kind of seen this. And now obviously there's people that are not PulseChain that see Richard Art stuff because got a large following, but it's kind of very interesting to see which is actually coming in there. And of course, Bitcoin also, the Internet Money Wallet now supports Bitcoin, right? So that's been pretty cool. Someone else just added Bitcoin recently too. Just can't remember who that was, but there we go. All right, day 30 is on us. 30 days, can you believe it? 30 what? It's 1 month basically. That is going to run through all the way through to day 54, and that's the 4th of January. The rate will be $7.40 by then. So presumably we won't see any PulseX, large holders of PulseX dumping down at the time. And then we got the volume multiplier will end that day as well. And at the moment, the best multiplier is the top whale, and that is the ProveX pool by Bunkermentals. That's the retail play. It's currently got a multiplier of 2.667 at the moment. And how does that compare to yesterday? It was 2.66. It's gone up you've gone up a little bit. A little bit there. All right. I think that's it, is it? I think that's it. And then, of course, the last time we'll have day 56 to 59. That will be the 9th of January that will end, and or the 10th actually. And then that's possibly if we see the OA do alternate ETH, magic ETH appear, or something like that, then and take the majority of the liquidity. Sorry, a majority of the tokens, somewhere between was it 85 to 95%, probably around 87% is kind of typically what we see. So we'll see what that happens there. And then of course that sits idle. And so 16 million or whatever the final value will be a smaller amount to arguably move. That's the logic, and it'll be on PulseChain, so it'll be like a marketing thing for PulseChain. We'll see how that all plays out. All right, so kind of cool. Now, CryptoSolve does have some good other stuff. Now I'm going on a little bit now because we're up to an hour and 25 minutes, but they have got some good analysis of stuff. So if you are looking at Pulse and PulseX, they have done some nice little work on that. So if you want to review that, if you're thinking about picking up, what you want to pick up, definitely check out some of the stuff here. I'm just trying to find it. I may have gone past it already. Maybe it's up there, further up. Is this the one? Is this the Pulse one? I'm not sure if this is the one I was after, actually. Maybe it's further up. Maybe we've gone too far. But they have a PulseX and a Hex review, and it's kind of interesting. That's the one we were just looking at. It is here somewhere. I just have to go find it. Maybe we'll pick it up for tomorrow, but definitely got hunted on there. CryptoSolve, you can go check him out. And he's got a review of PulseX and Hex and the relative, large holders there and the activity, and sort of implying which one would be easier to pump. Obviously, Hex was the easier one, but and possibly less dumpermental going on there too. So worth checking out, and we might try and follow up that tomorrow since I couldn't find it right now. Doing it live for some reason. All right, so now 26 minutes. Not bad for a live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was good for me bringing it. You just never know. We might get one of these as well coming up.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
So we might get one of those. So you just never know. It might be New Year's Eve. It might be. We didn't get one today. The interest rate cut. So or at least not yet so far. But it's typically a thing that Richard likes. New Year's Eve is another one Richard likes. Likes New Year's Eve from the 2020 pump, right? And maybe the 10th of January after the sacrifice is on. Maybe there's a bit of a bump there, and that's game on from the 10th of January, which is a pretty good time of the month to do it, right? Especially if ETH is going to rally. So we've got lots of things there just to help the chart along. And then presumably Richard's targeting that $10,000 mark, right? So he said it in this video. Oh, I like $10,000. Let's get back up to there. And I thought that was a nice little tell there as well. So, and that would make all the Ethereum has got pretty valuable, wouldn't it? And of course, you can do a lot of things with that, just scraping off a little bit, staking a little bit, maybe being really even more clever, creating some sort of fractionalized project and getting that up and running. And that could be pretty exciting. And multiplying the value of the ETH reserves, and maybe Railgun and Tornado Cash from Ludoswap are the key avenue for that to flow through. So lots of cool things, tying in Batias for secret market buyers and all that. Could be a fun time ahead, guys. Very nice. Very nice. All right. See you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and don't forget to follow on X, and also check out Strategy Club. Just over $1 a day to join up, and we'll catch you there. Take care, and bye for now.